Hi guys, and welcome to my first video on my channel. Well, it's not the first one, but mathematically it's the first I do for this purpose. For some time I was thinking what should I cover in this first topic, and after a small triage I decided to do it about HILT. But before continue, if you didn't subscribe yet to my channel and you like this kind of content, subscribe to my channel and hitting the bell icon. It will help me a lot.
If you don't know, now you know.
And now let's continue with the video. What is HILT and why should I care about? Let's start from the end. Why you should care about HILT? If you, like me, are following Google I/O event for many years, you will see how when Google announce something is because that is the way forward. Like Kotlin, when they announced it in 2018, when they said,
"We have never added a new programming language to Android, and today we're making Kotlin an officially supported language in Android."
And then 2 years after,
so Jetpack Compose, for example, is something we started talking about at Google I/O, which is entirely built on top of Kotlin. So I'd say like now is the time to convert if you haven't yet.
Yeah, we've actually said that here at I/O we announced that we're going Kotlin first.
And now let's cover what is HILT. HILT is a dependency injection library made by Google. HILT is working on top of Dagger. If you are using another dependency injection library like Codeine or like Coin, then probably you will see not much benefit on this video. But if you're using Dagger 2 or you are thinking to use Dagger 2 in the future, or you want to see what is HILT, then this video is for you. And now let's go to the code and see how easy it is to implement HILT and make it up and running. That's all. Let's go. Okay guys, for this demo we just have a very simple application where it's nothing really there. The application is plain as is created by Android Studio. If we go to the activity main, then we're gonna see this hello world, typically hello world there. And then if we put the application into the project, then we can see the Gradle is using the latest Kotlin version. At this point is 1.421. And then if we go to the application, well, it's very simple. Yes, the application is plain as it's created. Okay, just for consistency, let's put here a specific version. Not for nothing, it's because I don't like to have warnings. And when we run the application itself, then we have this application, my application, hello world, nothing else. Okay, so let's start to implementing HILT in our application. The first thing we need to do, it is go to the main build.gradle, and here we need to make a small change. The first thing we need to do is add the version. So here, for example, let's create it. Let's make it brackets so we can actually use this one multiple times. The extension, and then what we need to do is add the latest version. Okay, so here we go. So the latest version is HILT version 2.30.1-alpha. Okay, this alpha in the end belongs to it is in alpha version. So now here down in the dependencies we need to add this specific dependency. Here down we need to add this, and it's the following one. Is com.google.dagger HILT -android -gradle -plugin HILT version. Okay, so this one is the one we need to add there. After that, we just move to the application build.gradle, and in the application build.gradle, what we need to do is the following one. Here on top on plugins, we need to add these two things. First of all, we need to add the plugin from JetBrains, Capt, which is the compiler, as you remember from Java. So we need to add this plugin, kotlin-capt. And the next one is going to be dagger.hilt.android.plugin, which is the one we actually implemented before. After that, we just scroll down, and here on the dependencies, we need to add a library and a compiler. So what we need is this one. Let's put it here down, separated, so it's going to be clear. The first one is the first library we need to implement. We need to add is com.google.dagger HILT-android, and now as a version we use the same version as we implemented before, HILT version. Okay, and later on, using the plugin we added before here kotlin capped, we need to add capped, then com.google.dagger HILT.android.compiler. That's compiler. And that is practically all. If we synchronize this, it should be everything correct. Alright, so now what we can do is just run it again and see if the libraries are correctly included. If there is any error, then we can actually check it later. Okay, so at the moment everything is correct. We don't need to make any more changes. Now let's start to use Android, HILT, sorry. And now for that, the first thing we need to do, if you actually are familiar with Dagger, is create an extension from the application. So here on the application itself, let's create one new class, call it app. This class will extend from application. And now what we need to do is in the Android manifest here in the application, we need to add one, it's called Android name, and then we add this class. Okay, so now we have a custom application. And now to continue with our practices, what we need to do is in our application is coming here on top, and what we need to do is just add this HILT Android app. Because we will not add anything else on the application, we can actually remove these brackets because are redundant. Okay, after add this one, what we can do is just check again if our application is still compiling. If our application is still compiling, we will continue, and if something is wrong, then we will fix it. As you see, the application is still working. So let's continue. Now what we need to do is create a module. To create a module, let's create a new package. We will call it Dependency Injection. And in the Dependency Injection, we can create one class. In this class, we can create an app module. All right. And what it will include in this app module? If you can practically, if you know Dagger, then you will know this annotation. It's called module. And also, if you can see, module is come from Dagger. And after this, what we need to do is just create another annotation, which is called install in. And after you include this one, you need to add the following component, singleton component. And after you have singleton component, you just need to add the double time colon, and we add the word class. And after add this, practically this is all for the app module. We can include here all the providers we need, etc. We can actually create more modules, but at the moment we only want to have one. Okay, so now we have this, then let's check it again. It is working or not. If it works, we'll continue, and if it's not, we will fix it. What is the issue? As you can see, this is still working. All right, so let's continue. In our let's create something very simple. At this point, let's create a set preferences, which is we're gonna use to see if our set preferences are really created, and we can use it along all the application. For that, what we need to do is the following one. Here down, we create one annotation more. It's called provide. As you can see, provides also come from Dagger. After provides, we can create fun provide shared preferences. Okay, and now here and these shared preferences, what we would add is one more annotation, is application context. The reason we add application context is because we actually gonna pass context here, and he will know the context we pass here is coming from the application itself. Context. Perfect. And now after this, what we need to do is the following one, colons. This one is going to extend shared preferences. And after this one, what we're going to use is context dot get shared preferences. Okay. Now we need to add one string here. So to do that, what we need to do is, let's use a component object, and here in component object we're gonna create one private constant val, and we're gonna call it this one share, for example, share. Let's use capital case. Share preferences key. All right, and now we can actually put share preferences key. We can use this one as a key. It requires is a context dot mode private. Cool. So we have now one share preferences where we can use along all the application itself. Now our dependency injector called HILT will provide of share preferences. But this is not all. What we want to do is to create one share preferences util, so we can actually inject the share preferences in our share preferences util, and everything we want to do, like save values and get values, it will be there straight away. So let's do that. Here we're gonna create a new class, new package. Sorry, it will call utils. In this class utils, we're gonna create a new package. It's called share preferences. And now inside of the share preferences, we wanna create a new class. This class will be called share preferences helper. Okay. So now in this share preferences helper, what we wanna do is the following one. So here it wanna inject the constructor. Inside the constructor, what he gonna do is send us. HILT will provide us private value for a constant and share preferences. After we've been provided the share preferences, what we can do here is just create. What we can do here is just create a function. We create a function, and let's add a couple of functions to save. One for save and another to get a value. So here we're gonna put save string, and here on save string, what we're gonna do is the following one. So we're gonna send the key, and this key will be a string, and the second value, this value, well, it's gonna be also a string. Okay. So now let's add it again, string. Okay. So now here we're gonna just open, and we're gonna call share preferences coming from our dependency injection, and edit. And here after edit, we're gonna put string. And here the first value is gonna be key, and the second value gonna be value. And then we call apply. So now every time we get this, we get this function, we're gonna save a value in our share preferences. And now the next one is gonna be fun get string. And from here, exactly the same. We send the key, because we will need the key to know which value we need to get, and then we need to pass a default version. Default. And here also it will be a string. So after that, this string actually will be empty in case we don't pass any value. And then here will be return boolean. sorry, and here we'll return string. After return the string, we're gonna return ser preferences dot get string, and here accept two values. Let's go inside and see. We cannot see anything. So here it accepts two values. One is the key, and then next one is the default. And after we put the return a string, what we're gonna do here is the following one. So we're gonna put here return, and then ser preferences dot get string. The first string is gonna be the key. In case he don't find this one, we're gonna send default. But still return us. This one can be null at some point. So just to prevent that, let's create a Elvis operation, and we're gonna send the default just in case. Okay, cool. So now we have we save a string and we get a string. Let's make the next step, which is the most crucial step, and is go to the main activity. In our main activity, what we're gonna do is do the following one. Here, because we want to use HILT here, we want to inject dependencies inside of our activity. We're gonna create this Android entry point. And now this is all we need to start to inject. We use this new inject, and inside of the inject we put let init bar. Just remember, it cannot be private. Okay, so if you put this one on private, there is not gonna it will trigger an error and an exemption, and the application will not work, will not compile straight away. So let's share preferences, and here we call it a helper. Sorry, I think I call it, yeah, share preferences helper. Yep, it's there. Yeah, share preferences helper, sorry. All right. So now let's check if our application is if our dependency injection injects ser preferences, and we can use this to save and to get all the values. Let's do it. First of all, what we can do here is on the onCreate, just to before the onCreate, let's create the key for the. So let's create a companion object. Inside of the companion object, we can put private dot const val, and here we're gonna call it key, and nothing else. Let's call it key. We don't need nothing more special to do this test. And now let's go down here. We can actually say ser preferences, and now here on ser preferences we can actually save the string. The first one is gonna be the key. Sorry, it's gonna be key, and the second one is gonna be the value we want. Hello HILT value. Okay, so when with application entry in this stage of the life cycle, which is going to be on create, it's going to save this string. And the next one, when it is on resume, what he's going to do is create a variable value from HILT. And here we're gonna say ser preferences, and now we're gonna get the value. Here on this get value, get the string, sorry, the key is gonna be key. And now the next one, we don't want anything else. If this value is empty, then it's not gonna display anything. And now because we are in the main activity, what we're gonna do is the following one. We're gonna go to the main activity. Let's go to the code, and here on this one, let's say it. Let's put an ID hello world text view text, sorry, yeah, and this one we need to add the ID. Nice, text view, nice. So now we can actually get this and go to the application, sorry, go to the main activity, is here. We can go to the main activity, and in the main activity we can find view by ID, and now this one is going to be a text view, and this text view is going to be r.id, and now we pass exactly what we have. And here we can say text, and after we send text we should value from HILT. All right, so now everything is correct. So let's run the application and see if everything works, and if it doesn't work, then we just need to come back and see why it's not. Let's click play. Let's see our application running. Let's see if it's first compile, and yes, it's compiling, and now we can see how we can see hello HILT value. All right, so now our HILT dependency injection is complete. And now let's just recap of what has happened here on the background. First of all, we just have an implementation of HILT, very simple implementation. The only thing we need to do is just add this HILT Android app inside of our application custom. Okay. The next thing we need to do is go to create a module. Inside of the module itself, we have this import which is not needed anymore, so let's just remove it. And now we can see here we have this dependency. Okay, this dependency is the serve preferences. We now go to the serve preferences helper, and so we can see we inject in the constructor the serve preferences helper. Okay, serve preferences. Okay, inside of serve preferences helper, and then this class serve preferences helper, what we do is inject straight away to our activity. So we can see here is serve preferences helper. Now this one is HILT injects serve preferences inside of our serve preferences helper, so we can actually get this class and use it everywhere. As you can see, we save string and we get the string. So just to make it more clear, let's go to the serve preferences helper, let's create 2 breakpoints, let's run in the debug mode, and we can actually see a few things. All right, so let's go here down on the serve preferences. We just open serve preferences, and as you can see, we have serve preferences key. Okay, so this serve preferences key is exactly the same name as we added in the module. Well, this is set up HILT in your application and be up and running. Just one quick reminding, okay? HILT is still on alpha, so if you trying to use the same version as I do, you should not have any problem to have the same experience as I have. But if you're using the newest version, then probably things have changed, probably words are deprecated, and who knows, maybe it changed also the way of how everything is implemented. Anyway, I hope this video was very helpful for you guys. If you didn't subscribe yet, please subscribe, and I see you in the next video. Bye.